gas.
Put her in park.
How's your first drive?
It was good.
Noisy?
Very.
I can't do that very often though, because I was worried you're gonna run my toes over.
I was you. Hey.
Hey.
You wanna come shut this door?
Yeah. Well, that was sort of a first drive, you know. Power steering works. It leaked fluid all over the floor. Not having any lines hooked up, but now I put it in park and I want to roll it forward.
Oops.
I don't know why I put it in park anyway. It's not like it's going anywhere. Be able to get the garage shut. Oh, I did spin them. I think you're smiling bigger than I am. All right. I got a lot to do on this episode. Radiator, cab mounts, gauges, bolt the bed down. I got find my other rear shock mount for that Ford Explorer rear end so I can get some kind of shock back there. I'm gonna mount my battery tray and start figuring out some of this wiring stuff. My favorite. No. I did find a radiator. I had to cut my core support. Sucks. But these are only pop welded on, so if I do ever want to return this thing to stock, these would be pretty easy to find. I actually think I haven't set on another core support, so I'm not too worried about that. This radiator is out of a 68 Lincoln with a 462 in it that I bought, and it got wrecked.
The radiator?
No, the car got wrecked. And, the old guy that owned it bought it. You're funny. In like 1980. And it was his pride and joy. I still got the car. It was a beautiful car. Parked it somewhere and it popped out of park. Rolled down a hill and smacked a big tree. Pushed the whole passenger side quarter panel forward. It was bad, but I needed the engine and transmission. And now I got a good front clip for my 68 and a hood. But yeah, this radiator came out of that, and it will work perfect. Just got to raise it up. I got to make 4 mounts for it. So I'll probably put it, I don't know, somewhere in there. And I'm just going to run electric fans on it. Figured I'd start with something easy. Work up to something a little harder. Can't see the hole. You hold that too? It's another thing you're really good at. Holding flashlights for me. It's hard finding good flashlight help. Let's ask my dad. He hated it when I hold the flashlight for them. At 10 years old, trying to hold a flashlight, and your brain's about 47 different places at the same time, and I want to see right there. Okay. Yeah. Get your big head out of the way and you'll be able to see past the flashlight. Alright, got them 4 in. I'm getting better at this whole mechanic thing. Alright, well that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry, I tried. Tried to keep a straight face. Yeah, Ford did a lot of different stuff back in the 60s. Like, I have trucks where the battery is in the wheel or the passenger footwell. It's got a cover. And then I also got one with the battery right here. So, yeah, they were goofy. They did all sorts of goofy stuff. Guess we should test it, see if the battery holds. If it holds the battery in. Oh, look at that. It's like it was meant to be there. Yeah, now let's move on to something a little harder. I'm going to address the front cab mounts. And I'm a cheapskate. I wasn't about to spend $80 for cab mounts. So I went to Play It Again Sports. Spent $4.20 on 2 hockey pucks. Drilled a hole in them. Oh, they're a little more rigid than a factory body mount, but you know, you're not going to notice a ride difference, especially in something like this. It's got solid motor mounts, so that's going to shake the whole truck anyway. But yeah. Oh, it's a long way down there. Maybe I should start on the easy side, huh? I think they had that side off because I think he did some welding on the cab mount itself. So. What'd the horse say after it fell down? Help! I can't giddy up! Alright, enough shenanigans. You're a bad influence on me. Well, a guy at work told me that joke the other day and I chuckled. I had to send it to the wife. I'm pretty sure I got a ha-ha out of it. That's way too big. Ugh. That's way too small. Well, it kind of seems like the whole thing's turning. You got some ankle vents in this thing. Pretty sure it's not factory. Alright, I need your help for a minute. You gotta hold this. So. Trying to make my hockey puck hole a little bit bigger. It is a Bauer. Nothing but the best for this truck. I didn't want to go with that other brand. Titleist maybe. I don't know.
I think that's golf.
Oh, well. I know cars and pickups. Anything else is football. I bet I can name a couple football players from the 80s, but not nowadays. So for now, I'm just going to set these in, and then I can adjust accordingly when I get the front clip back on it. So I make sure my gaps there are sort of decent. I know from the factory, these things, they were nice trucks, but they weren't, you know, they didn't take the time to gap everything and make them look super pretty. Oh, it's already higher. I can feel it. Getting closer. I have this race truck out before it snows again. Unless it snows tonight. Not supposed to though. Saying we're not supposed to get much snow until, let's say, December. This is northern Minnesota. So we'll get a foot of snow tonight. I couldn't get this bolt out, so I had to cut it. I just cut the top of it off, pounded it down through the bottom. And this truck does need 4 pans on each side. It's not a huge deal. I put them in before. And my 66, I did the driver's side. And my 62 unibody, I did both sides and the mounts themselves. Come on. There you go. Well, it's nice. These lower cap mounts are actually, the cap mounts themselves are in nice shape. It's just the floor's a little, kind of like Swiss cheese. Yeah, cap mounts are in. So yeah, I won't know until I set the front clip back on if I gotta add some or take some spacing out. What's next on the list? I do have some welding to do on this though. Oh yeah, gauges. That's what I wanted to do. At least so next time when I have it running, I can, you know, find out if it does have more than 5 or 6 pounds of oil pressure. Guess I should have asked you if you had a knife on you. I got one though. You do have one though, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. And this is why I haven't slept good in 15 years. I'm kidding. She only beats me. She's never threatened to cut me. So I didn't even need to cut that top, just popped right off. And I went with the cheapest ones I could find. Because I'm cheap. They're still like $50. But these kits come with this plastic line. Don't use them. Just throw them right in the garbage. Spend the $14 Buy the copper one. These will not get a hole worn in them, or crack, or blow oil all over your exhaust manifold, and burn your car down. Try not to break the brand new gauges. It's turning too hard. Let's get the temp side bung put in. The tricky part is going to be throttle cable. Some kind of rod. That's what, it's supposed to have a rod, so I guess I'll just make a rod for it. Probably be out of all thread. Now we got temp. Does anybody else use a tool, set it down, lose it? Can't find it? So you grab another one? I do all the time. There it is. See, that's why I keep you around. And you're a good cook. You hear the new craze going around? So this is your positive, and this is your negative screwdrivers. Makes sense, doesn't it? You know? Happy, sad. I like the idea. Hand me a positive screwdriver. Hand me a negative screwdriver.
What's wrong with Phillips?
Well, because Phillips is a brand. Yeah, Phillips is a brand. I don't know what to tell you. You either got a screwdriver or you got a, well, Phillips. But that's what I've always said. All right, on to the fuel or the oil. Problem is I got to get that sending unit out of there. Didn't have a socket last time that would fit it. I might save these for another project. Did you bring the big flashlight in? Maybe I can get that bracket thingy out of the way and then just get a wrench on it. Are you guys getting excited as I am about this truck? This was actually the first truck I bought. So when I was 18, my brother had a 66 Ford. And he quit driving it because he got a Mazda pickup. So then the truck just sat. Then I got my license and I just took the truck over. I said, well, he's not using it, it's just sitting here. So I started driving it. So yeah, right out of high school, my first pickup was a 66 Ford. 352, 3 on the tree. It was long bed. It was blue. After I got rid of that one, this was my first slick side that I got again over the years. So, yeah. I like the truck. It's probably why I've stuck so much time into it. You think I'll be able to get a wrench on there? Remember what size it was?
No.
Try an inch and a 16th. too big. Seven-eighths. Go from there. Then we'll hit the big drawer. Too small. Sixteenths. It's gonna be a 1-inch watch. Oh, and then I can't even get on it. I'm calling the vice grips. Oh, yeah, it's set here handy a minute ago. Well, vice grips came out to play. I was able to get it to turn, so thought for a second I was gonna have to pull my power steering pump off to be able to get in there and get something on it. Vice grips pinched me. Blood blister. I have to go to the doctor and get a couple stitches in that. So yeah, after I get this gauge hooked up, I'll see what I got for oil pressure. Hopefully it's about 50. I'm hoping for 50 cold. Why'd I throw that away? What dummy. Now I just gotta fight to figure out what size it is. How about this one? At least on Chevys, these are easy for the oil pressure gauge. At least those small block Chevys, they're, you know, right on the back, right by the distributor, so it makes it pretty easy putting them on. It's got oil right there. Hurt my finger, now I can't think. Just kidding. I couldn't think before. Now you don't want to over tighten them because those little brass plugs will snap and then you're doomed. And you don't need Teflon tape if you're going brass to brass or brass into aluminum. Alright, let's get this guy thrown in there. Any predictions on oil pressure? How much we have?
5.
5? I sure hope it's more than 5. Especially cold.
How about a multiple of 5?
Yeah, I'd take 20. I'd take 25. I'd take 55. I think my little Mustang has... Pretty sure it's like 55. They won't let you drag race if you don't have one of these for your oil. You just got that plastic line, they won't let you run. Maybe on a Wednesday night drag or something they would, but... Like the first time we started racing in the Camaro, I think it had the plastic line on it. We can't let you run, so we had to go to the hardware store, parts store, and get one for it. I think this is going to have 50 pounds of oil pressure cold. It's going to have 30 when it's warm. Find out in a minute. I'll throw you inside and fire it up. Make sure I put it in park first. Yeah, I'll get that in hooked up quick and we'll twist on the old starter button. So?
50.
50? I'm good with 50. I like it. Alright. Now I just sprayed a bunch more power steering fluid all over the garage floor. I'm an idiot. Don't do what I do. Yeah, I'm going to take a little while and reflect on my progress for tonight, so I'll be back. Now that I'm done messing around with the truck, let's get to the good stuff. The Pogues. Imported Irish whiskey, triple distilled and matured in Ireland. Had this one on the freezer for a while. Right in the freezer, not on it. Oh, there it is. Let's see if I can even get it open. Alright, I'll be back in 10 minutes after I get this open. Hey, Spencer. Here's another one of them strays. Just showed up. Oh, I like it when they got a cork. It smells really good. It's cold though. Says a collaboration between the punk band and West Cork distillers led to the creation of this unique Irish whiskey. Exceptionally smooth with a rich and nutty sweetness. It's triple distilled. Blended Irish whiskey uses Irish spring water, barley. Its high single malt content is very versatile and easy to drink. Enjoy however you choose. We have no rules. Well, my rules for drinking Irish whiskey is on the rocks. lighter than I normally like. The bottle says it's smooth, so it should be good, right? It smells really good. Here goes nothing. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a bite at first, but I like it. I think it's good. I definitely recommend the Pogues from a punk band. I don't know about that though. Them punks. Are they punks or punk rockers? You tell me.
Hooligans.
Hoonigans.
Hooligans.
I like Hoonigans better. Alright. So, the rest of the night I'm just going to fire this thing up and just let it idle. You know, I will open the garage doors because I do want to make it to work tomorrow. But no, it's coming along. I think we made great progress. This is probably going to be the last episode on this until it gets paint. So, where'd that come from? Oh, it was in my pocket. But no, this will drive out of this garage under its own power by the end of this episode. And it will definitely make a street appearance from one driveway to the other one. So, yeah, long time coming. I think I got this in the spring of 21, I believe. Because I remember driving my Dodge to pick it up, and I never drive that. And I think I got it after it had snowed. I remember that, so I don't know if it was in the fall when I got it. And it was like the very first snow, because there was snow on the ground when I picked it up. But yeah, I don't drive that thing in the snow. It's an 02. It's super clean. I haven't parked it yet because we got some snow, they salted, then it rained, so washed the salt off, so I was still able to drive it. So yeah, have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Do a little bit of mock-up for my Radiator. Oh, hooked me. Bought some square tubing. I guess should still be tubing. Gotta figure out where I'm gonna weld it. And then I got these brackets or radiator hold supports off an old car I had over there, so I'm just gonna weld these to the tube I got, but I just gotta figure out how high I want to set my radiator and make sure I can weld that in place. And I don't want it sitting up too high, but I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of room between here and the front of the hood, but I'd rather keep it lower. I'm thinking somewhere right in there should work pretty good. I might have to put that down as low as I can. Yeah, we got, after putting the cab mounts in, this side's a little high, so I gotta take a shim out. But yeah, that's way. The other side looks really good, so I like it. So, yeah, lines will line up a little better. Yeah, I might actually have to weld this right to the other side of the frame. Test fit, refit, double check. Weld, cut it off, weld it on in the right spot the second time. That's usually how I do it. I'm going to try just clamping it to the frame for now, underneath, and yeah, because it's got to be, I think it's got to be about in line with these, so I'll get it cut where I need it. Check before I decide to. Yeah, because That's too high. Because once I put these little things in, well, yeah, it'll give me a little bit more space. So yeah, I'll just do that, cut it, and just weld it to the frame. It's got rubber mounts, so it'll be independent of the core support, because it'll be attached to the core support up here, but it'll be solid on the bottom. It'll still give it some wiggle room. So yeah, I'll get that cut quick and tacked on, and touch base with you soon. So I got my mounts in, I got them tacked. I just gotta lay some more welds around them. Crawl underneath and try to get some welds on the inside of the frame to that crossbar. Yeah, making progress. We'll be driving soon. I did take and I got my sway bar clamped up in place where I want it. And then I'll just put a couple tacks on that to hold it in place, and then drill the holes and then bolt them in place. And that way I don't, because my clamps are right in the way of the holes, so I think it'll be easier to just tack them and then drill them and cut the tack weld off. So yeah, I'm gonna get these two things the rest of the way secured, and yeah, keep moving on from there. So, I did find out that I didn't torque my intake down, so I think that might have been part of the issue why it wouldn't sit in idle, because it's probably pulling some vacuum. So I went around and torqued it, side to side, around in a circle. I didn't throw a torque wrench on them. I just made sure they're all tight. But yeah, I'll get this welded in quick and touch base in a little bit. Well, the mount's in. The mounts on top of the mount are in also. So now I just got to figure out something to hold the top here. So, I don't know. I got brackets off another, maybe off that radiator. Let's see if I can modify them to work, because I want to be able to bolt them on so the radiator's not welded in place. So it's gotta. It'd be nice if it could come out. So yeah, comment. What do you think? How's the truck coming along? I did buy some steel to do the floor above the transmission in there. Just got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. Because I still got to mount the shifter on it, so it's got to be firm enough for the shifter, but I also want to add some kind of welded in, like, coffee cup holders. So, yeah, there's no cup holders in this thing. It'd be nice to have, a couple, especially if we're going to be in it for 1,100 miles. Need the coffee. Yeah, I'll look around for them upper brackets I got, see if I can make them work somehow. Yeah. I just seen them. They're in the garage somewhere. So, I'll find them. We'll touch base in a little bit. So, I'm right in the process of modifying my brackets. Here's what I had. What I did is I cut it there. Move the gloves so you can see. Cut it all the way across there, and then I cut it across here. So my plan is to just take this piece, set it on top like that, and weld it. And then it'll be my upper mount on each side, and it'll still be removable. And with this, I could probably drill it and just put a nutsert. So we'll see. I'll probably just self-tap it. But yeah, we'll get these cleaned up a little bit and welded, and yeah, show you what it looks like when I'm done. So I got my brackets made. They're not the nicest, but they'll stay together, and they'll hold the radiator where I want it to stay. So I could bring them over to Arden and be like, hey, could you weld these for me? Because it's really thin steel. It won't take much to blow through that one. Even that welder sitting there, it'll blow right through it. So But I feel like I made some progress. I still might cut this one in half. Length right here, and then add a little bit to it because I had to bend it out some, and it'll hold it in place, but I don't know if it'll keep it in place. So, but yeah, it's getting late enough. Hell, 8 o'clock already. Huh. Guess we call it for tonight. We'll be back out here tomorrow. Hopefully I can get something done on the transmission tunnel. Maybe get that shifter mounted. Oh, I'll show you the shifter I'm going with. I'm using this one because, well, I had it on the shelf, as you can tell. It's been floating around for a while. I don't remember where I got it from, but it's a B&M star shifter, so, you know, you got your regular pattern where, you know, and then you lift up, and then it's a ratchet shifter. So basically his and hers. So when I'm driving, it'll be in ratchet shifter mode. And when you're driving, it'll be in lady mode. Yeah. It's going to be way too much power for you. Alright. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Just out here working. Getting stuff squared away. The throttle situation. I'm addressing that right now. This is the old one. I would have had to make a rod and linkage and all that other fun stuff, and it's seized up. So I had this cable and a pedal out of a Mustang just laying around. So I got the pedal mounted. I'm drilling the final holes. So yeah, this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to have a cable instead of that old rod. So got to make my one hole a little bit bigger, and I might have to spacer this up some because it's going to go through the firewall real far, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, get this hole drilled, and then I also got to make a bracket for right here to hold this side so it lets it do its throttle stuff. And tonight I installed a new universal human door. So, for the last couple years we've been going in and out of the garage door because I had that blocked off because the old door was junk, and I had enough. I had to spend $220 and put the cheapest door in I could find. Let's see how far that goes through. Show off the Mustang pedal. Yeah, don't go spend a bunch of money on one of them fancy throttle accelerator kits. 'Cause yeah, the one hole lined up perfectly and I just had to drill one hole. And I started working on my tunnel the other day. I got that tacked in there, and I'm gonna make some plates to cover each side, but yeah, so that's gonna have to be spaced out pretty decent. But putting a spacer in shouldn't be bad. I think piece of round stock. It'll get it out pretty flush, so yeah, I think that might work. Putting that on there. As long as once it's to the floor, it's wide open. That's all I care about. You don't want it wide open or to the floor and only getting half throttle, because that's never any fun. You won't even get the 4 barrels open. So yeah, I think I'll use that guy for a little spacer. I might have some long self-tappers if I just run them through that. It'll stay. line that back up with the hole. There you go. And I had the camera lady test that, make sure that's where she's going to want the throttle pedal, because the plan is the whole way down to Tennessee, I'm going to do as little driving as possible. That's what I'm hoping for. Hoping to find a little topper for this thing, set my futon back there, my PS7 and my Xbox and 47-inch flat screen TV, and sit back there and chill while somebody else does the driving. Yeah, I did get the radiator mounted. I gotta source some hoses. I might be able to find one off a Mustang, a V8 Mustang that'll fit. I just gotta get the right end diameter. Yeah, I'm gonna find some screws and see if I can't get that throttle cable buttoned up tonight. Look, I'm an engine. So I decided to go the easier route and just run a couple self-tappers in there for now. They're actually probably barn screws. I will get bolts and do that the right way, but I want to get it working before I finalize it. Alright, I'll go hit the pedal, see if it works. If I can get out of here. If you were an engine, what engine would you be? Oh, well, that's going to be wide open. Alright, let's get busy on my bracket I'm going to build. So, I don't know, they might make something for this, but I'm just going to take this square and cut it into a angle iron. And then just drill a hole in it. Bolt it down to there. Then cut. Probably just end up cutting a slot in it. So this will go down through, then I can screw it. And then I'll take one of the little chunks I took off and weld it on the bottom here, so when there's pressure on it, it doesn't, keep turning. It holds it tight. I'll probably just use a whole chunk of the angle and just weld it right around the corner of this carb. Which this carb's probably going to come off, so I'm probably going to have to do it different later, but too thin. Alright, I'm going to do some cutting. So, while I'm making my second throttle cable bracket, because I made this one too short, the camera crew is going to pull this off. She's going to figure out how to pull it off. And I'm not going to help. So, yeah, I got my second bracket on there. It's, you don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money on stuff if you can weld. Somebody had to make it originally, so make it the way you want it. And that's what I'm going to do. I made it extra long this time, so when I do cut it off, because I want it straight, last time it was all cockeyed like that, so this time I can make it nice and straight. So. And then you have no binding issues. You don't have to worry about fraying a cable. You know, my luck, halfway through Chicago, it'd break, and then, you know, I won't have my shoelace for the whole rest of the trip because I got it run through the firewall running the throttle. I've seen it 1,000 times. May have done it once or twice. Yeah, get busy on your motor. Look at that. My bracket's working. I don't have the carb hooked up yet, but it's going in and out. Yeah. She's also ripping all the beautiful vinyl off that seat. Yeah, it's been sitting around for a while. Get it? Sitting around. There's absolutely no foam left in that seat. And those mice that have been making houses, they're getting an eviction notice. Time's up. Leave. Or get eaten. Not by me. By a cat. So yeah, throttle cable, or throttle is all buttoned up besides hooking it up to the carburetor. So yeah, it's not a bad spot. Half cruise throttle. It's definitely easier to push than the old rod style. So, and the brakes still work. So we're getting there, getting closer. I do got to clean this up, and I want to weld this across. I only got it self-tapped. Can you see without the light? Or not? Denting your truck up. Yeah, I just got that in there, so for alignment purposes. But yeah, weld that up soon. And then wiring. Getting everything hooked up. And I'm going to put the gauges right here where this fancy radio is supposed to go. I think that'll look kind of cool having the gauges there. Because honestly, we never have the radio on in the car. The way I look at it, if your truck or car sounds good, you don't need a radio. Because you got the pipes keeping you busy. I did buy bolts for the box. Maybe I should work on that for a while. Wrong bag. I just bought carriage bolts because that's what came out of them. I hope I got the right size. I don't know. Look like they're long enough, but we will see. The problem is getting underneath this truck. Without a jack, you can't do it. Oh no! They're not half-inch carriage bolts. I won't be securing the box tonight because I'm a dummy. Should have checked, but hey. I'll have these for when I need them. Because, you know, you always need carriage bolts. At least I do. They'll get returned. I'll get my $47 back. Inflation. Woo! That means I don't need the nuts or the washers I bought. Alright, I'm done messing around for tonight. I gotta go to O'Reilly's in the morning. I know they got the, I'm pretty sure they got the thing to adapt this to put the little nipple on there for the throttle cable to go on there. And then I'll touch these edges up and pull it back off. Probably paint it black. Because you see a silver bracket and you want to paint it black. That's just how it goes. Yeah, I'm an idiot. You're laughing too, woman. Yeah, and then I got to figure out the TV cable because one of the previous episodes, somebody says the TV cable controls the line pressure, and that will affect the shifting. And I don't know if you guys have ever driven one of these AODs, but when you're racing on the strip, not on the street, you shift second, and then you automatically pull it right back down into first. Otherwise, it'll shift into third right away, and then try to go into overdrive. Yeah, it's not very fun when that happens and the guy next to you pulls away from you. But yeah, because I've had my Mustang, my '89 had an AOD in it when I first got it, and you know, I tortured it and it didn't hold up, and now it's got a 5-speed. So, which I don't like going against my principles, but I got a real nice built Power Glide, and I'm so tempted to throw that in that car, buy the adapter kit, and you know, because that car's it's been in the 12s before, so it's a hot little street car. So, but yeah, I'm done talking. I'll see you guys later. So the shifter I got will not work with this AOD. So I got this old broom handle down connected to the shifter. So there's reverse, so on and so forth. Just to get it out of the garage. My daily broke today, needs an alternator. Again, I just put one in a week and a half ago. So I'm gonna get it pulled out and then get my daily in here and throw an alternator in it. So yeah, let's get started. Should probably open the garage door. But that's a wrap on the F100 for now. I drove it out, like I said I was gonna. It's coming soon, maybe even next week. Big improvements, but like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate everybody. Have a good night. And make the plan, work the plan, and happy Thanksgiving.